People seem to do strange things all the time when no one's looking. At least when they think no one's looking. Let's get it on! Truck driving is pretty difficult, but it can always be harder. This unfortunate driver lost some of his cargo right next to a huge intersection. He tried to stop it, but that didn't seem to go to plan. Zorbing can be pretty fun, assuming it's happening where it is meant to be happening. As for this guy though, I don't know if he's having the time of his life or the worst day ever. Is it out of control? Is it not?
I guess we'll never know.
They say what goes around comes around. This guy must have really been on the goalpost bad side. I don't know what he could have possibly done, but there was no way he was getting out of that. The movies make art theft look like the most complicated form of criminal activity, but that's only because they haven't seen this guy. He fumbles around with that painting for only a moment before he decides that it'll probably be easier to just walk out of the gallery with the painting under his arm in full view of everyone. All this guy wanted to do was throw the chair in the dump. Sure, that skip is high, but it shouldn't have been too hard. And yet, the mistake he made was forgetting the chair had legs that were in between his very own. Sometimes people do the unimaginable, and this is definitely one of those videos. I have no words to describe what this guy just did, and I don't think I'm alone.
What the hell?
He seems to be a firm believer of the 5-second rule though. Actually, I take that back. Just imagine being this guy. He'd spent ages shoveling the thick snow away, only for this to happen right at the moment he thinks he's done. I don't know about you, but I probably would have just left that pile of snow there. I don't know what this dog was trying to achieve, and I don't think he knew either, but he decided that grabbing onto his tail was important. So important, in fact, that he made sure to never let it go again.
What the dog doing?
Now that's dedication. There are so many brazen thefts caught on camera, you'd think it would get boring, until you see someone cutting through the roof of a Porsche. This thief doesn't even care about all the people walking around. He just goes ahead and climbs into the car as though it's his.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Once he realizes all that was useless, he just gives up and walks away. People love betting on horses, but there's no reason to think we know which horse will win. This horse obviously decided he was in with a shot, not to win a race, but to win some money. And maybe his friend was running or something, who knows? He must have a hot tip because he seems pretty determined. Being a waitress is stressful enough, but it's even worse when a famous person walks into the restaurant. It's best to stay calm and collected, but I can't say that's what happened here. It happens to the best of us. There are plenty of amazing accidents happening everywhere. We just don't usually get to see them. Luckily, this one was recorded. A rogue ball landed in exactly the right spot and turned on this lawnmower.
A few moments later.
As from that point onwards, it was all downhill from there. The saying goes, dance like nobody's watching. Except people only ever do that if they think they're alone. This girl got a bit carried away while mopping the floor at work. The office was empty after all, except she'd forgotten about two things. She wasn't facing the direction of the door, and more importantly, there were a whole lot of cameras watching. At least her customer was impressed. They say your true character is revealed in times of crisis. Judging by this video, I think that's true. He caused a minor disaster by crashing into a light post and scraping the side of a parked car, but he made it so much worse by trying to fix his car himself.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
This video shows the worst possible moment for pride to kick in. There's no good reason to try to wheel someone's expensive, brand new appliance up a drive all on their own without just waiting for their colleague to come help. Surely anyone can afford to wait that long. On the bright side, he'll never try that again after causing this disaster. Even when you think you're alone these days, someone's probably watching. In order to see what was causing the elevator to malfunction, a camera was placed to record any unusual behavior. Little did they know that what the camera would capture would raise more questions than answers. These police officers had no idea their every move was being recorded, but I'm sure glad it was. This one is worth a look just because it makes no sense at all. See that guy at the gate? Have a guess at what he's trying to steal. Whatever your guess is, you're wrong. He's actually trying to take that gate. No, I don't know why either. People have weird hobbies, but they usually do them where no one can see them. These guys were forced to take theirs outdoors though. Kayaking on grass? Well, I guess you might as well give it a try if you happen to have a golf cart handy. Seems like fun. Installing large items in buildings always looks difficult, but that's even more true when it's glass. A kind person would probably want to offer help, but you might think twice after seeing this video. Her fingertips had only just touched the glass when it shattered into a million pieces. Was it really her fault? I guess she'll never know. We've all executed a 1 in a million shot at least once in our lives, but there's usually nobody around to see it.
My question is, what the hell?
This little girl got lucky though, because her trick shot was caught in full view of a security camera. I wonder who was more surprised. Simple things make a cafe more enjoyable. A nice view, pretty decor, or a huge fish tank is always a plus. Well, it is, until something unexpected happens. You have to feel sorry for these guys. They weren't expecting that to happen at all. Next time you see a fish tank in a cafe, you might want to sit a little further away from it than these guys. We've all heard of cat burglars. Well, this is a goat vandal. I guess he woke up and chose violence. Not for any good reason though, he just wanted to break the glass of the 2 front doors and continue with his day.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
Sibling rivalry can lead to some pretty hilarious pranks, even in the animal world. This cat saw an opportunity with his brother and he took it. You could have said it was an accident, except he's clearly heading toward the other cat to cause some kind of mischief. And he did. One swipe of the tail, and he was in the pool. I'll bet that cat was laughing inside. In the movies, any kind of theft is always planned to the finest detail and smoothly executed. In real life, it usually doesn't look anything like that. It usually looks more like a man failing to look casual as he shoves a huge chainsaw under his thin white t-shirt in full view of a surveillance camera. It's not quite Ocean's 11. All sorts of weird things happen with deliveries these days, but this one has got to be pretty high up on the weird list. If a homeowner said they'd seen a man with a TV on his head coming up their front steps, nobody would have believed them. Of course not. People don't do that, except that someone did. I have no explanation for this. This brazen theft was expertly executed. He looked so casual. It was easy to slip the unattended flip-flops on. It would have been perfect if there wasn't a camera right above his head. It's important to always watch your step, especially if you're on a flight of stairs. This guy was happily bringing home some delicious breakfast when this happened. Always think about your takeout before running upstairs so you don't end up like him. This police officer has probably seen a few terrifying things in his time, and he would never think to run away from them. But put a little mouse in front of him, and you'll see a very different side of this seasoned burly cop. If you've ever dropped something at a friend's house, you'll know how awful it feels. Now imagine you're a delivery guy, and the glass you've broken was the front door. He looks like he has no clue how that happened, and I don't have a good answer either. I think we've all suspected that our deliveries aren't always handled with care. We almost never have proof though, but this person managed to capture this unusual delivery method. Instead of ringing the doorbell, this delivery driver chose to just throw a brand new computer monitor over the fence and into the bushes.
Monitor.
This forklift operator wasn't really doing anything wrong, but a single unsteady keg was determined to ruin his day. Not on his watch. He reached out, caught it, and placed it safely on the ground like it wasn't even a big deal.
Nice.